That's annoying. Alerts. Redemptions. Follows. Facebook stars. Facebook likes. That's not what I want. Stream settings. Audio. User feedback pop-up. Huh. Stream. Labs. Notification. Sound. Keeps going off. Not that. Domain expand. Wait, no, that's never mind. That's a shadow clone jutsu. How are you doing this evening? I feel like it's been. I feel like you've been on here before. Yeah, I feel like it's been a while. At the very least, your name sounds very familiar. Then again, I have watched Jujutsu Kaisen a bit too much, so that could be why. Daiki, are you coming up? Alright, I was actually trying to see if I could find out why my Twitch stream keeps giving me a notification, but I cannot. So, however, we are gonna come over here briefly for my cat. You coming up, Daiki? Come here. Me? Phoenix, Arizona. Come on up. Good boy. You gonna get yourself comfy? Daiki. Hey? You gonna get yourself comfy? I did call him up. Just gotta wait for him to do something. Usually he'll come right around over here, but he might actually not be all that tired anymore. He's been sleeping while I've been playing the First Descendant with a friend, so he might actually be pretty awake right now. So, and I'm just waiting for a few other people to come in. Some of my regulars have been stopping by during my evening streams, so I'm not I'm not starting my reading yet. He's just gonna chill. If he moves at any point in time, I will, Momo Sumire. His name's Daiki. Technically it's pronounced Daiki. It's Japanese. It uses the kanji for great and radiance. So his name actually means great radiance. Got it because he's a very majestic cat. Isn't that right, Daiki? Alright, really quickly, let me pop back up, switch my views. There we go. I know I'm not quite as attractive as the cat, so I do apologize for that. There we go. So, it's been about 6-ish minutes. Then where am I gonna put this? We'll put this right here. So, for those of you who don't know, this is just a reading stream. So, all I'm really doing is, trying to not knock this down is all I'm trying to do. No, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading this book, Severing Time and Space. This is a book that I wrote and published. Rocio Quezada? Evening. Oh! I feel like that's not gonna work. Where should I put this? You know what, we can do it like this. There we go. So in this way you actually see some of the book. Instead of just my man boobies. So I do apologize for being shirtless. I have actually tried wearing a shirt, but I go to bed like immediately after this. It is thank you. It is like almost 9. It's like almost 9 o'clock here in Arizona. So I don't stay up much later after this evening reading stream. So that's why I'm shirtless. I do apologize. I know that's probably not like super professional or whatever. So yeah, but you know what? That's actually annoying. That's way too close to me. So we're gonna do this. Turn it like that, maybe, so that so that at least you see the book. And what I really want, I just want you to at least like see the book. I mean, Arizona's warm. It's getting to be summer again. Back at it again. Me and my man boobies are out here so we can read. We're getting a read on Anime. Also, welcome. Don't worry, I'm not streaming mid this time. I know you hate that. So, glad you're on here though. I think you might be the only regular and the only moot that I've got on here right now. So appreciate you coming in. All right, since we actually do have a bit of a crowd, I can always count on you, Diana. Since we have a bit of a crowd, I guess I'll get started on my reading then. We're reading chapter 4 right now, so I've been doing one chapter each night, and tonight is chapter 4. So, there were already a lot of people at the dining hall, but several empty seats near the front told Wujian they were still a little early. He looked at the food everyone was eating as he walked by. It looked like they were having congee. Congee was a type of rice porridge that could be eaten plain, though it was typically served with side dishes. It was common for people to add fruits, sauce, nuts, berries, or even protein, like poultry, fish, and beef. Depending on what was added, congee could be either savory or sweet. Same as usual then. Congee was a typical breakfast meal for the Wu clan. It was popular across the Shang kingdom. He had heard during some of his classes that other nations served congee at dinner, which he found kind of strange. It just didn't feel like a dinner food to him. Oh, that's just my Nightbot. Wu Jian and Wu Meiying sat together at one of the tables, and a serving girl soon arrived with 2 trays for them. Daiki's leaving. The congee had been plated with sliced green onions, fried shallots, and a raw egg. Wu Jian was quick to crack the egg into the bowl. He stirred the congee until it formed silky threads. The scent wafting from the bowl wasn't the most mouth-watering, but congee was a satisfying meal to have first thing in the morning, and he was feeling quite ravenous after their exercise. Wu Meiying added the green onion slices to hers. Several people pointed at them and whispered, but he was positive they were either admiring Wu Meiying or making fun of her. The people here seemed to waffle between talking about how pretty she was and how weird she was. As they ate, Wu Yang, Wu Fei, and Wu Ming entered the dining hall. Wu Jian felt like he had become a magnet. Wu Yang's eyes found him the moment he walked in. The older boy pursed his lips in disdain, then glanced at Wu Meiying next to him before scowling as he turned away. "Problem?" asked Wu Meiying. "No," Wu Yang was just glaring at me. "But he always does that, so it's not a big deal." Wu Jian tried to play off his fear with a smile. He hid his shaking hands underneath the table. Wu Meiying found Wu Yang among the crowd, frowned, and turned back to Wu Jian. "He's just jealous. Try not to pay him any attention." "I'll do my best, but I don't think I'll be able to ignore him during training," Wu Jian said. "Don't worry. I'll be your sparring partner." Wu Jian's relief was almost palpable as he smiled. "Thanks, Mei." "Oh, Momo. All right, then. You have a great evening or a great day. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it." Wu Meiying grinned broadly as she puffed out her chest. "What are wives for?" After breakfast, all of the younger children were directed toward the training courtyard. It was a large space with a floor made of wood panels, surrounded by rocks, trees, and a 4-sided, open walkway. No matter what direction you looked, you'd see evenly spaced wooden posts, and beyond that, buildings and courtyards of the Wu clan compound. There were several mats meant for sparring. Standing on one side of the training courtyard was a man around his father's age, with black hair and black eyes of the Wu clan. He was tall, had broad shoulders, a thick chest, and his short hair was spiked up in all directions. A single scar ran down the left side of his face, gave him a menacing appearance. Well-defined muscles flexed beneath his orange training gi. "It looks like you're all here. Good. Everyone form up." "Yes, teacher." The students shouted as they formed 4 rows of 5. There were 20 students. 6 of them were girls, including Wu Meiying, while the rest were boys. Wu Jian and Wu Meiying stood in the front row next to 3 boys. Wu Nai, Wu Tao, and Wu Bu were branch clan members. They didn't have the same problem with Wu Jian or Wu Meiying that Wu Yang did, so he generally got along with them decently here. But at the same time, he would not consider them friends. Cat's over by the bed. "Good. I'm glad to see you are all able to form up on command now. Let's begin today's training with some basic stretches. After that, we will practice the Wu clan's martial arts before breaking into pairs and practicing how to properly fall." "Lan Shushu doesn't waste time," Wu Meiying murmured under her breath as they began stretching. "That's just how he is," Wu Jian said. The stretches they did in the training hall were not as complicated as the ones written on the scrolls they had gotten from the library, but they still served to warm up the body. Limbering up was important to avoid causing injuries during strenuous exercise. When their stretches were done, Wu Lan had them get into their basic stances, then made them go through the forms for the Wu clan's martial arts. Perhaps it was because of what Wu Meiying had said earlier, but Wu Jian felt like the Wu clan martial arts did not fit him. He couldn't properly articulate it. He just knew that it didn't feel natural, like his body was meant to go left when the form was trying to make him go right. Yet, even though it didn't feel natural, he still completed the forms alongside everyone else. When he was done, he turned to look at Wu Meiying, who had worked up a light sweat alongside him. "Excellent. Good job, everyone. Now, break into pairs and practice falling properly," instructed Wu Lan. When Wu Lan said to practice falling, what he meant was they would pair up and one person would hit the other, while the other person would lessen the impact by falling backwards. This resulted in a lessening of the pain and reducing the chance of having the air knocked from one's lungs. There were several ways to take a hit depending on where someone got struck. This was a lesson they had already learned and were now putting into practice. Wu Jian tried to pair up with Wu Meiying like he always did, but Wu Yang stepped up before they could begin practicing. "Wu Jian, why don't you practice with me instead today?" he asked, with a smile that seemed friendly at a glance but belied his sharp intentions. "You're always practicing with Wu Meiying, but you'll never grow stronger if you always rely on a girl to help you." While his comment caused the girls present to glare at him, Wu Jian was getting ready to reject him. He knew that Wu Yang just wanted to use helping him as an excuse to beat him up. "I believe Wu Yang has a point," Instructor Lan said, arms crossed as he watched. Gender notwithstanding, Wu Meiying always goes easy on you. If you really want to learn how to take a hit, then you need to pair up with someone who won't hold back." There was nothing Wu Jian or Wu Meiying could say now that their teacher had spoken up. With a grimace Wu Jian grimaced as he clasped the fist of his right hand in the palm of his left and offered a traditional martial bow to Wu Yang. "I understand. Please instruct me well, elder brother." "Of course. Just leave everything to your big brother," Wu Yang said. His smile widened. Wu Jian thought it made him look like a poisonous serpent. Wu Meiying paired up with one of the girls, who seemed grateful since it meant she wouldn't have to be paired up with her current male partner. A few of the boys in class were mischievous and liked to play pranks on the girls. Wu Jian and Wu Yang found their own space and faced each other. "Are you ready, little brother?" asked Wu Yang. "Yes, elder brother. I am ready." Wu Jian tried to hide his fear, but his breathing was coming out in heavy pants. "In that case, here I come. Prepare yourself." Wu Yang took 2 steps forward and threw a classic front kick at Wu Jian, who tightened his stomach and tried to absorb the blow on his abdomen. He grunted in pain as the foot connected and tried to move backward with the kick. He wasn't successful. Wu Yang had kicked too fast for him to properly take the blow. Stumbling back several steps, he was forced to expel oxygen from his lungs. As he reached up, pressed a hand to his stomach, and gasped. Alright, you guys, so my cat gave me this. We're going to be doing a, really quick, we're going to be playing fetch, I guess. Hang on. Flip the camera. Did that work? No, that did not work. Flip the camera. There we go. Alright, you ready? 1, 2. Normally he runs faster. Hang on 1 second. You know what? That was probably my fault. I definitely did not hit that right. And get my ass out of bed. Good. Alright. Where is... I see it. Hang on 1 second, you guys. You're only going to see black for a moment. Alright, you. Okay, I'm getting back in bed. Alright, you ready, Daiki? 1, 2. He's not doing anything. Okay. Kiddo. Alright. We're gonna let him do what he wants. I'm sitting on this. Hang on. I have to remake this. You're right. There we go. Alright, flip the camera. How do I flip the camera? It should say there. Okay, so flip the camera. There we go. Alright. So I'm just gonna let him lick the... Here. There you go. This is what he likes to play with, is this little string right here. Where was I? Come on, little brother. If you can't even take this weak kick, how are you going to get any stronger? Asked Wu Yang, chuckling. Wu Jian gritted his teeth as tears stung his eyes. He wanted to stop. He was scared. He didn't like to feel pain. His body was shaking, just thinking about continuing. But he recalled Wu Meiying's words to him to motivate him. He could not be weak. He had to be strong. So strong that he would be able to stand by Wu Meiying's side, no matter what forces tried to split them apart. So strong that his father would acknowledge him. For himself and her, he needed to be stronger. I am ready, elder brother, Wu Jian said, taking a deep breath to steady his nerves. Wu Yang's smile vanished. You ready for more? Well, fine. In that case, let's see if you can handle this. Wu Yang threw a punch this time. Severing time and space? If you've never heard of it, don't worry. This is actually one that I wrote. Wu Yang threw a punch this time. It was a straight punch, right to Wu Jian's face. The way to take this punch would have been to absorb the force by moving forward and taking the blow on his forehead. But even though Wu Jian was determined to become stronger, that didn't mean he had already gained strength or become any less cowardly. Oh, Raven, nice to see you this evening. If you did get a copy, I'd be very grateful. They are for sale on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Any bookstore really will have them. So you can get them just about anywhere. I also sell them on my own website, my Shopify. So, but if you look up, like, if you Google Brandon Barnell, you'll find my books. He flinched. The blow struck his nose. Woo-jian cried out as he was sent sprawling to the floor. Something wet dripped down his nose, and he went to wipe it. And when he went to wipe it, he looked down and saw crimson liquid staining his hands. The sight made his pupils dilate. His breathing became erratic. "Wu-yang, you are going too far!" Wu Meiying shouted suddenly. Did I just get... Something just happened. I think someone just followed me. I can't tell, though. My notifications are crap on my phone. Whoever followed me, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. "What are you talking about?" asked Wu Yang. "I'm not doing anything wrong. This is all about teaching us how to take a hit. That means I have to punch him with all my strength or he'll never learn." "That may be so, but you aim specifically for his nose, which we all know you are not allowed to hit. They might not be able to kill unless struck at a certain angle, but blows to the nose were extremely painful and disorienting. Wu Lan had also forbidden them from hitting each other in the face, if at all possible. That said, mistakes did happen, and there was no way for anyone to tell if Wu Yang had done it on purpose. It's not like I meant to hit him in the nose. Fists don't have eyes, you know. All I did was throw a punch. I aimed for his chest, but then he flinched, and I struck his nose instead," defended Wu Yang. Wu Meiying scowled at his words. Wu Yang grinned as he looked down at Wu Jian. "Sorry about that, little brother. I hope I didn't hurt you too badly." Wu Jian slowly climbed to his feet and bit his lip as he kept a hand on his bleeding nose. How should he respond? In the past, he would always take his lumps and try to pretend he wasn't bothered. He would let it happen and not retaliate because Wu Yang was 2 years older than him, more aggressive than him, and stronger than he was. But he didn't want to remain like this. He didn't want to stay a weak, frightened child. He needed to be stronger. He wanted his father to be proud of him. He wanted to be proud of himself. He wanted to stay with Wu Meiying. He didn't want to be weak anymore. "I'm fine," Wu Jian said, sniffing the blood back into his nose. Let's continue." "Huh? You want to keep going? What about your nose?" asked Wu Yang, blinking. "It's fine. Like you said, I need to toughen up, right? Let's keep going," Wu Jian said. "Fine. You want to act tough in front of Mei Ying? Then let's see how tough you really are," Wu Yang said, eyes growing cold. There was no warning this time. Wu Yang took 2 swift steps forward and swung his fist so quickly that Wu Jian almost missed it. He just barely managed to bring up his arms to absorb the blow, but it still broke his guard and sent him sprawling. He cried out in shock and pain. Gritting his teeth, he climbed back to his feet and got back into a basic defensive stance once more. "Again," he demanded. With his face red, the now angry Wu Yang launched a kick with all his strength into Wu Jian's side. Even though he tried to absorb the blow on his obliques, the attack contained the full strength of someone who is not only older, but also had more training under his belt. He simply wasn't strong enough. The kick slammed into his ribs, and he cried out as the bones cracked. "That's enough!" This has gone too far, Wu Lan suddenly shouted as he stepped between them. Too far? I'm only doing what Wu Jian asked me to. Wu Yang crossed his arms and scowled. We both know that isn't true. You used excessive force against someone who isn't nearly as strong as you. It might be true that accidents happen, but I can tell this was no accident. You will receive punishment for this, Wu Lan said with a glare. Wu Meiying rushed over to Wu Jian as he lay on his side, struggling to suck in a breath that would not come. Her face was normally white, but now it was an unhealthy, pale color, like the blood had drained from it. She placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. Jian, are you okay? I hate this. I hate being so weak. I hate that I'm such a coward. Why can't I be stronger? I want to get stronger. I want to be able to protect Mei. So why am I always the one being protected? Wu Jian appreciated everything Wu Meiying did for him, but she also made him feel weak and pathetic. She always protected him. It was never the other way around. He wanted to be the protector, the shield that stood in front of her. He didn't want to keep being shielded. I need to get stronger, braver, better, for Mei, and for myself. I am fine. Wu Jian coughed up some blood that had gathered in his throat. Mei, help me up, please. Wu Meiying looked like she wanted to tell him to stay down, but she must have seen the look in his eyes because she took his arm and helped him stand. He leaned onto her to keep himself up. His legs were wobbling and weak. Wu Jian bit the inside of his cheek to keep himself from passing out as vertigo swept over him. Wu Yang and Wu Lan were still arguing. It looked like Wu Yang was going to be punished. How can you punish me for doing what you told us to? It isn't my fault that Wu Jian is so weak. You know he's weaker than you, so you should understand that you can't use so much force when you attack him. Do not try and weasel your way out of this. You might be the clan head's son, but that doesn't give you the right to break the rules. Grunting, Wu Jian interrupted the two by saying, Teacher, Wu Yang is right. This happened to me because I am too weak. The two turned to him, both shocked. Wu Jian gasped and pressed a hand to his chest as he hacked up another wad of blood. It hurts. It hurt so much, but he shunted aside the pain long enough to look at the two. However, I won't remain weak like this forever. Wu Yang. He pointed at the older boy with his blood-stained hand. I challenge you. 6 months from now, during the biannual Wu Clan strength test, fight me in a duel. We'll see how weak I am then. Wu Yang looked stunned, but his surprise only lasted for a second before he sneered. You wish to challenge me? It seems you've gone blind. You are unable to distinguish the leaves from the trees. Fine. I'll show you what it means to be a real man. Maybe you'll even learn your lesson by the time I'm done with you. I just hope you don't come to regret it. So, and that is the end of the chapter. So we do have some art here. For those who are curious, I write what are called light novels. The inspiration is obviously anime. I don't know how many of you watch anime, but if you watch anime, then you'll probably know at least a little bit about light novels. I've loved anime since I was a kid. And so when I got into light novels, I realized that I really wanted to make my own. So now, when I do all my publishing, I add a lot of artwork on the inside of the pages. So. So this is the only one I'm showing you for now. This one is the end of the chapter. Now, if you want to read this on your own time, which I would be very grateful if any of you did, you can buy the ebook or the paperback volumes on Amazon or any other online book platform. You can also buy the ebooks DRM free from my Shopify, which I guess I can add. I'll add a link in the chat. Can I add anything in the chat here? I actually don't know if I can talk in the chat. I don't think I can talk in the chat. Oh my god. Okay. Let me. So now, because I'm not all that attractive and this guy's way handsomer than I am. Easy, kiddo. Easy. We're gonna end on my cat licking himself. Or licking me. Thank you guys for joining me. Raven, Dianime, Domain Expansion. Momo, I know she's gone, but I appreciate you popping in. And, yeah, that's all for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Or no, wait, I won't be on tomorrow because tomorrow's Saturday. Never mind. I don't think I'll be on tomorrow. But I will see you, I might be on tomorrow. But I will, either way, if I'm on tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. And if I'm not, I'll see you on Monday. You guys have a great night.